host, Alan Porter. Alan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Well, Neil, it's over 100 degrees out here in North Carolina. It's hot, very hot. Not a good day to be outside, but I'm going to go swimming here later.
All right. Well, fantastic. And our title today is Entitled Cash Value Life Insurance. Did you know? What do you mean by that, Alan?
Well, Neil, let's start off with the basics, okay? It can be a tax deduction if properly structured in a cash benefit plan. A gross tax deferred and the distributions are tax free. Do you know of any other financial vehicle that can do that?
No, I did not. What about a Roth IRA, Roth 401k, or a Roth IRA?
Well, they can grow tax deferred and their distributions are tax free, but they are not tax deductible.
What about municipal and education bonds?
I get this question all the time. Well, if you live in a state other than where those bonds are issued, you'll have state taxes to pay. And if your estate is large enough, you'll have estate taxes to pay. And they both affect the taxation of Social Security and the means testing for Medicare Part B, which will be in the thousands of dollars per year.
What do you mean by that?
Well, cash value life insurance and the Roth products are the only legal financial vehicles out there that I know of that do not affect the taxation of Social Security or the means testing for Medicare Part B. And I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that you're married and age 65 in today's tax standards, and you make more than $44,000 a year outside provisional income, such as a 401k, stock portfolio, or something like that, and you make $3,000 a month in Social Security. Well, guess what? 85% of your Social Security will be taxed. In today's tax standards, that puts you at a 12% minimum tax bracket, and I believe it's a 10.13 effective tax bracket because we have a progressive tax system. And what that means for you, you're writing a check to Uncle Sam for over $6,000 every year, provided taxes don't go up, which I think they will. And your Medicare Part B payments can go up by almost 350%.
What else, Alan?
Well, this is huge because I just did it. You become your own bank. You borrow from yourself from the cash value of the life insurance policy. That money continues to compound because the money that I borrow goes as a lien against my death benefit. I don't even have to pay it back if I don't want to. But I'm borrowing from myself. I'm paying myself back, compounding interest for me instead of financial institutions, and eliminating the effective interest costs that I pay on the money that I borrow.
Wow. What else? What do you mean effective interest costs?
Well, I had a client that wanted to do my tax-free retirement plan. And I asked him about how much debt did he have. And he said, well, we just got a new house a couple of months ago. And, we got a couple of car payments and things. I asked him what the interest rate was on his mortgage. He said 2.75. I said, that's great, but what's your effective interest cost on that? He says, Alan, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, listen, don't feel lonely because 99% of the people I talk to include CPAs, attorneys, and financial advisors, don't need it. So we did a Zoom conference the following week. He sent me some information. I said, you got $461,000 in debt. That's not your problem. The problem is the 49.76 effective interest cost that you're paying on that 2.75% mortgage. He said, Alan, how is that possible? I said, because it's not going to get down to the 2.75 until the last couple of months of the mortgage. You got a credit card here that's over 90% effective interest cost, and your average effective interest cost is over 46%. I said, what financial vehicle are you investing in your 401k or anything else that gives you a 46% return on your money? He said, well, there's nothing. And the next question I asked him, I said, how long can it take you to pay your debts off the way you're doing it? He said, 20 some years because we're paying extra on the mortgage. I said, well, with my debt free for life program, which I offer, I said, we're going to pay it off with a tax-free bucket of money and a whole life insurance policy, 14.17 years faster, save you over $73,000 in interest. And there will be $130,000 in that tax-free bucket of money that you become your own bank. Now understand, you only pay on this policy for 10 years. He's putting the same amount of money, $1,000 a month into this policy. He's paying on it for 10 years. He's 42 when he started. And I said, no, listen to this. At 52, you'll be completely debt-free. I've showed you how to become your own bank. You'll never have to borrow money to buy a car, college education for your kids, or anything else. And your death benefit's over $400,000 to protect your family in case something would happen. But I want you to think into the future. When you're 65 years of age, that cash value is over $250,000 that's tax-free that you can use in policy loans. that do not affect the taxation of Social Security or means testing Medicare Part B. You're protected from lawsuits, liens, and judgments. It avoids probate. And your death benefit now is $600,000 to leave as a legacy for your family, or you can use tax free for long term care. He said, Alan, you made a dream of mine come true, but why don't people know about this? I said, it's not rocket science. It ought to be taught in high school. But I got doctors with PhD degrees in finance and accounting. And they have no idea what I'm talking about.
Uh, that is quite a list, Alan.
Yeah, well, there are several other advantages. It's the greatest wealth transfer vehicle available today, uh, bar none, because the taxes can be paid on your estate from the cash value, which is tax free. And I mean, the death benefit, which is tax free in these policies, to pay the taxes on your assets. So your family and your beneficiaries can keep their assets because the taxes have been paid on them. Now I know wealthy people, have lost everything because they sell all their assets to pay the taxes on their estate. Now, also, it's the greatest college funding vehicle out there today. It beats the 529 plan all to pieces because the 529 plan first has rules and regulations that there's penalties if you don't use it right. It's connected to the stock market. Cash value life insurance is self-completing, and it doesn't affect what is it, FASA, FASSA, when you go to apply for grants and things. But it's you can access it before 59 and a half. You can use this, as I said before, for long-term care for pennies on the dollar. Long-term care right now, Neil, costs between $50,000 to $200,000 a year, and it goes up every year. There's no required minimum distribution, and some people don't need any money in retirement, and it affects the taxes they pay in retirement.
Man, are you? Do you have anything more that you have to add to this, Alan? This is unbelievable.
Well, Neil, I'm not done yet, and this is absolutely huge. Cash value life insurance and other insurance products like fixed and fixed index annuities can mitigate or eliminate the risk in retirement that a stock portfolio, bond portfolio, real estate, money market funds, CDs, and mutual funds only compound. These risks include sequence returns risk, which financial advisors don't tell their clients, and they're supposed to be fiduciaries. It will decimate your retirement. The number one fear in retirement is running out of money before you run out of life. We can eliminate that. We can also eliminate government and tax risk and market risk, which are absolutely huge. Another risk is longevity risk, which is a risk multiplier. And there are several others.
This is unbelievable, Alan, for sure. This sounds too good to be true.
Well, I get that all the time, Neil. It's not too good to be true. It's too good to be free. But there's a cost for doing something and a cost for doing something incorrectly. And that cost for doing something incorrectly can amount to millions and millions of dollars in your financial plan. People don't know this, but a 1% fee in a 401k or any qualified plan over a 30-year period will reduce your income by 1/3. And the average 401k or the average fee in a 401k written by Forbes magazine and Lap Times is 2.99%. Neil, people are going to have less than half of their money, and then they get hit with 20 to over 55% in taxes, and taxes are going to go up in the future. We've been inundated by the propaganda of Wall Street and these fee-based advisors that the only way that you can save for retirement is in a 401k or a stock market portfolio. Well, I'll tell you what, guess who makes the money on these? Wall Street and your fee-based advisors.
Exactly. And so, Alan, well, the people that say, cash value life insurance, what about inflation? Why you're trying to explain that these fees and all this won't even keep up with inflation either. It sounds like the 401k and all that stuff.
Right. But I mean, these things, they can grow and grow and grow. You don't have to take the money out. Neil, it's not about return on investment in retirement. It's about distribution of your assets. I want everybody to be diversified. And you can have money in a stock portfolio and get or a 401k or anything. But if the market goes down, don't take that money out at that time. Take it out from another bucket of money, fixed or fixed indexed annuity, or take it out from cash value life insurance. It's about distribution of your assets in retirement. And people need to understand that, but they don't understand it at all. And that's what I want to do is I want to educate people on things like this. because it makes a huge difference in their financial future.
All right, Alan, this is such great stuff. Any last words?
Well, Neil, as I've told you before, I want people to think outside the box of conventional financial planning. I show people how to reduce and possibly eliminate both debt and taxes. I show them how to possibly set up a tax-free retirement. I show them how to become their own bank, borrowing from themselves and not the financial institutions, compounding money for them, and eliminate the effective interest costs that they're paying on the money they borrow. But I show them, very important, how to mitigate or eliminate the risk in retirement that I just explained. But another thing that I do, Neil, it's making a huge impact on people, is I can save them thousands of dollars in their healthcare costs.
This is some really amazing stuff. Where's the best place we can find information on you, Alan?
Well, they can always call me, Neil, at 910-551-1046, or you can email me at strategicwealth, the number 0 at gmail.com. And my website has a plethora of information. That's www.strategicwealthstrategies.com. And I hope people call me because they need to know these things that I divulged today, but they don't. I would say, Neil, 99% of people out there have no idea about this.
All right, Alan, we appreciate it, sir.
All right. Well, take care.
You
Everybody
too.
have a great Labor Day weekend.
All right. That was the Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast, guys.